Welcome to a new episode of Actors Are Born. Today we shine the spotlight on a face that became synonymous with toughness, a cinema icon who didn't need to raise his voice to fill the screen. We're talking about a man with a shock of prematurely white hair, an icy stare, and a gravelly voice that seemed to come from the depths of the earth. We're talking about Lee Marvin. But the question we always ask here at Actors Are Born is, was that talent, that presence, innate? Or was it forged in the fire of a life that was anything but simple? In Lee Marvin's case, the answer is etched in the scars, both visible and invisible, that he carried with him. You see, his true acting academy wasn't a stage in New York, but the mud and blood of the Pacific Front during World War II. Enlisting in the Marines, Marvin fought in the infamous Battle of Saipan. He was seriously wounded, nearly every member of his platoon was killed, and he himself survived by a miracle, earning a Purple Heart. That experience marked him forever. The ghosts of war, a deep-seated cynicism, an awareness of life's brutality, and a profound sense of loss became an integral part of him. And when, after the war, he discovered acting almost by chance, he didn't have to learn to play tough. He just had to draw on what he had become. His early roles in the 1950s saw him relegated to playing the villain, the brute. He was perfect for it, tall, imposing, with a menacing air that needed no dialogue. He is unforgettable in Fritz Lang's film noir, The Big Heat, where he plays a sadistic gangster who disfigures Gloria Graham with scalding hot coffee. It was a scene of shocking violence for its time, one that branded him as one of Hollywood's best villains. But Marvin was much more than just a bad guy. He was intelligent, sharp, and underneath the tough exterior was an actor capable of incredible nuance. The turning point came in 1962 with John Ford's The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. In a film with two giants like John Wayne and James Stewart, Marvin more than holds his own. His Liberty Valance is the personification of pure violence, a primordial evil moving through the West. He is both terrifying and magnetic. He's no longer just the villain, he's a force of nature. From that moment on, his career took off. He began to play not just villains, but anti-heroes, complex, disillusioned characters, often violent, but with their own code of honor. He is Major Reisman in The Dirty Dozen, the cynical and ruthless leader of a group of death row inmates sent on a suicide mission. It's a role that fit him like a glove, a man forged by war who understands and exploits its most brutal logic. And then, in 1965, came the surprise. Hollywood's toughest man won his only Oscar for Best Actor. And for what? For a Western comedy. In Cat Ballou, Marvin delivers a masterpiece of self-parody by playing a dual role. The ruthless killer Tim Strawn with his silver nose, and his twin brother, Kid Shalene, a legendary gunslinger now reduced to a washed-up, bleary-eyed alcoholic. His performance, especially as Shalene, is both hilarious and touching. The scene where he tries to get ready for a duel, completely drunk, leaning on his equally drunk horse, is the stuff of film legend. Marvin proved to the world that he had extraordinary comedic talent, built on perfect timing and the ability to laugh at his own image. But perhaps the role that best defines his essence is that of Walker in 1967's Point Blank. Directed by a visionary like John Borman, his Walker isn't a character, he's a concept. A man betrayed and left for dead who returns to get his money back. He asks for no more, no less. He moves forward, unstoppable, silent, almost spectral, an abstraction of vengeance. The film is an existential neo-noir, and Marvin is its immovable and implacable engine. It is his most modern performance, one that has inspired generations of actors and directors. Off-screen, Lee Marvin was an equally complex man. His private life was turbulent, marked by alcohol, brawls, and a famous lawsuit with his former partner, Michelle Triola, which coined the term palimony, which means alimony between unmarried partners. He was the image of the wild and untamable alpha male. And yet, those who knew him well spoke of another person, a sensitive man, an avid reader, a solitary fisherman who loved poetry and classical music. The two souls, that of the tormented marine and that of the sensitive artist, coexisted in a precarious balance. Lee Marvin didn't act tough, he embodied it. His greatness lies precisely in this, in bringing an almost terrifying authenticity to the screen, born from pain and experience. He wasn't the classic American hero like John Wayne. He was something new, darker, and more realistic. He was the modern anti-hero, the broken man who survives in a world that pulls no punches. So was Lee Marvin a born actor? Yes, he was born with a unique physical presence and charisma, but he was forged by the fires of war, by life's disappointments, by his own contradictions. And it was those flames that transformed a rebellious kid from New Jersey into one of the most indelible and complex legends cinema has ever known. Thanks for listening to Actors Are Born. Join us next time for another portrait.